Hello everyone. This video is just a small talk through of my first real gunfight and player encounter in Dayz. Of course I have encountered players before, but this is the first time I actually got into one of those those YouTube worthy fights with someone. It started in the town of Krasnostav, or however you pronounce it. I was basically planning to build a base in one of the barns in that town, and I heard a bunch of heavy gunshots, like heavy, a big gun. And so I decided to eliminate the threat before I started building the actual base. As you can see, I am already aiming down at a building in which I saw a geared player enter, and I simply assumed that's who I was aiming for or who I was looking for. And so at this point I'm right here on the map, and this guy that I saw enter was over here. After laying on top of the hill for a while, I had time to check with the rangefinder the distance between me and the building. It turned out that I was roughly 260 meters away from the police building, and so I rounded up and zeroed in at 300 meters with the scope. And at last, the player finally emerges on top of the roof, and I decide to take my shot. Seems like I managed to hit him, but unfortunately it ended up in his butthole, which will sting in a while. Trust me, I know about that one. After the first shot and the second miss, I started hearing stampeding coming towards me. I decided it was time to get out of there, and unfortunately I got stuck between a zombie and defense. Luckily, the player was a terrible shot, and so I managed to evade all of his bullets, but that wasn't the main problem right now. Main problem was all the zombies. After bandaging up, after the cut I got from the zombie, I decided it was time to change position, and so I ran out the shed for my life and ran towards this hunter cabin or bar or whatever it is. After assuming my position right here in this building, I took aim at the police building where the player was last seen. However, it's unlikely that he was actually there still. At this point, both me and the enemy were going in blind because neither of us knew where each other were. So I just kept sitting in the building and he was wherever he was. But eventually I got tired of it and decided to rotate back to the hill in hopes to get a better angle of the town. At this point, you've probably realized that I'm not very good at the game. I don't know any tactics, and I'm just not very good at the combat in general in any game, to be fair. But you can't even compare me to my enemy. He was so awful. Jesus Christ, look at this man. I'm not just gonna trash talk him, of course. I clearly missed my shots, but I had a one-shot gun. He had an automatic gun. I couldn't fire multiple shots like he did, yet he missed all of them. How? How? I'm so lucky that he was that bad, man. At this point, you can clearly see that I'm confused, because I was. I fired 2 shots into the bush, hoping he was still there and that I managed to hit him, but he clearly wasn't. I didn't see him rotate. He was probably covered by the bush, or maybe I'm blind. But I decided to run down into the town again when I didn't see his body, because I didn't want to go up against another barrage of automatic weapon fire, because I might not survive this one. I want you to know that this game, if you don't play this game, you can't understand the adrenaline rush that you feel when going through something like this. Like, it was insane. My heart was pumping, my hands were shaking, and I was scared to lose my stuff. Even though it wasn't much, I was scared to lose my stuff. And right here, this bugged me. What the fuck is this shit, man? How can I not aim? How? Of course I couldn't stay in the building, I had to run out, otherwise the player would absolutely smash me. So it ended up in a standoff that was quite intense. I had a shotgun, he had a automatic weapon as well as a blaze, it turns out. I missed the first shot, but oh my god, look at the second one. Oh my god, it was a clean hit. Player goes down. I won. I am the winner. I am the victor. I am the champion. I am the Hunger Games survivor. The rest of this is just me looting the guy, and unfortunately I had actually ruined his plate carrier and backpack, and a bunch of stuff within the backpack because I shot him right through the chest. So half of it wasn't actually usable, half of what I wanted. But at least I got night vision goggles, and this was actually the first time I had ever acquired night vision goggles. The unfortunate part is that I ended up dying like 15-20 minutes later because I got shot while building my base. I'm guessing it was his friend coming to retrieve his stuff, and yeah, he shot me while I was cutting a tree down. So I was kind of pissed about it, but well, I just have to bounce back, I suppose. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little fighting walkthrough or whatever you want to call it. I might not do any in the future. I might not get any views on this either. But let's just hope some of you actually watch this. Bye bye.